Hey, what's up everybody? This is David Drinks here at the Med Gym, and I wanted to come to you this morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. on a Thursday morning, and I just got done with my workout, and I always have my best ideas come to me while I'm working out, while I got blood flowing through my body. So I figured I'd jump on here and wanted to give you some of my thoughts on this idea I've been thinking about, and I was going to write about it. Maybe I will at some point in the future. But I had to just get on here and talk a little bit about it because I think it's super important. And the idea is around habits. And the idea came as we started a 6-week weight loss jumpstart program about 3 weeks ago. And I got on the first call and I was talking about the importance of building the right habits and how those compound into really lifestyle change to a big overall outcome. But it really starts with those little habits that we start with and then give them a chance to repeat and to compound over time. And I got this idea from James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, a great book. If you have not read it, I would suggest picking it up. But he says in that book that habits are the compound interest of lifestyle change. So habits really are something that you build into your life that is almost something that goes on autopilot then. So we can create negative habits, we can create positive habits, but you can replace habits. So you can replace a negative habit with a positive habit. And really the idea is that it's not so much important about the, focusing on the outcome, focusing on the big goal. While I do think that you need to have some of that outcome focus and some of that big goal, like, I want to lose 60 pounds, or I want to gain this much strength, or I want to have less pain. I think those outcome goals are important, but there's no way to get to them unless you actually have a system in place and the habits in place to make progress towards that goal. And so really to make that big lifestyle change, it's much better to focus on your system, your day-to-day implementation of positive habits, and over time that's going to compound and to get you to that ultimate lifestyle change. And it's more sustainable as well, because if you build habits, you're almost putting your success on autopilot. A good example of that is my example of just getting done with my workout out here. Many of you probably know my wife and I had our second baby just over 2 months ago. And for a lot of people, that's a tough time to maintain any kind of regular routine. I know I've had to make some adjustments. We've been thrown off our schedule a little bit. But I've already been in this Tuesday, Thursday morning workout routine. And I have built it as a habit where the world can't really infringe upon my time. And so it's an easy way to get in here and to just maintain, even in a challenging time of life where we got a lot of schedule change, a lot of demands on our time. So building that habit early on, and now it's just a matter of maintaining, and I don't have to have my overall goals of fitness blown up. I can stay on course, maybe take a little bit of a step backwards and not do as much, but I'm still staying in the habit. So you think about this idea of habits being compound interest towards a self-improvement and towards a big lifestyle change. If you think about that idea, compound interest in the finance world is a super important aspect of investing, because the idea of investing is that you put your money into something that ultimately is going to grow and go up in value over time and not go down in value. And if you look at it, you look at maybe like an investment calculator and you spread that out, small contributions, $100, $200, $400 a month, over the course of 25, 30 years, you may only put in about $100,000 to $200,000 over the course of that time. But ultimately, the growth of the compound interest, compounding on itself over time with maybe 10 to 12% growth, is going to result in about $900, $1 million of interest growth on top of what you put in. And so that idea of compound interest is super important if you want to make a big chunk. And if you want to make a big change, a big self-improvement in your lifestyle, the idea is that you don't have to put in as much hard work and as much effort over the course of time if you just build these habits and do them consistently. rather than saying, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I'm going to do it by this date, and you just focus on that. Focus on, I'm going to eat differently today, and I'm going to make that small change. I'm going to drink more water today. I'm going to keep doing that over the course of 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. And you build these habits that are easy on the front end to implement, relatively easy. You can really work to make those easier with building the right systems. But over the course of time, they become almost on autopilot, and you're not really just changing what you do, you're changing who you are. And so thought this idea of habits and with the goal of making a big change or having a big outcome, really it's super important to focus on that big outcome, but I think it's even more important to focus on what's your system, what are you going to implement today, this week, this month, and how is that going to add up over the course of time. And I think it's also important because it gives you some hope that you don't have to look at that big goal and think it's never attainable. What you have to do is focus right now on what you can do to implement today. And if you do that and you build these habits and they snowball on themselves in the right direction over the course of time, you're going to have that compound interest. You're going to be a quote unquote overnight success, even if it takes 20 years, but you're going to get to where you want to go. It may not happen right away, but it's going to happen in a sustainable manner, building those habits that compound upon themselves. So whatever that habit looks like for you, I can't really dictate that. You have to decide where's the first place to start. Maybe it is building a regular workout routine and just saying, I'm going to do this 30-minute workout or this 60-minute workout 2, 3, 4 days a week. And I'm going to focus on how can I get that done? I'm going to start building that as a habit. Maybe for you, it's I'm going to cut out this amount of calories out of my diet, or I'm going to cut out, this negative habit of, overeating at night out of my diet. Or I'm going to go home and not crack open that beer or that wine right away. And so a lot of these things, they're very individualized. So you have to determine what's the right place for you to focus. And if you need help, our coaches here at the Med Gym are great at helping you to identify where's the best place to start. What habits should you build? But ultimately, you need to decide what habits you're going to build today, what you're going to start implementing to move you closer to your goal. And you're going to be surprised as you start doing that, where you get to over the course of time.